I spend a lot of time here at my parents' house. I love it. I love the art, I love the objects, I love the chairs, the stairs, the cups, the plants, and the people that live here. Whenever I feel like I need to calm down or have a rest, I know I can come over here, have an affogato, hang out with my family, and things will feel a little easier. I've made a lot of photos here, and they're all photos that I'm really proud of, but what I've found is that the best of those photos are the photos that I made on my phone. I wanted to see if I could make photos like my iPhone photos on a film camera. So I found that the best camera to do that was actually a Mamiya 7, which I don't have. But luckily I got a sugar daddy in Beau Davis, and he was kind enough to let me use one of his. He came up to the house and we walked around, had a bit of a chat, and shot a bunch of photos in the house. It was really great. But yeah, this video is basically going to be like a Mamiya 7 versus iPhone. Hey?
That's Western red cedar, isn't it? It totally is. Why'd you move out?
Mum's workshop. She put it there.
She put it there?
Yeah.
What was there before she put it?
A different version of the same thing. What's your favourite spot in the house so far?
Your mum's workshop.
Thank you, Beau. That was really fun. First, I'm going to talk about a few of the photos, then I'll get into my thoughts about the Mamiya 7 versus iPhone thing. But yeah, firstly, I just want to say Mamiya 7, crazy camera. Feels amazing. You feel so loose and free when you're taking photos with that thing, and I think that's due to the rangefinder, but that, honestly, it directly relates to how much Beau and I popped off on that afternoon. I love this one photo that Beau got of a Chuck's cloth in my mum's studio. There are so many things that I think about when I see this photo, and I can see my mum's art and her story within it. Also, having such a wide lens and still being able to have a short depth of field is absolutely insane. This other photo of my sister's bathroom that I took is a favorite of mine from the day. It's actually one that I've taken on my iPhone before. When I got the scan back, I couldn't tell which way it was supposed to be flipped because I created kind of like a house of mirrors effect by opening one of the mirrors up. It's a nice little visual trick. I like doing things like that, just having like little tricks in the images just to kind of make you look at it twice, you know. You look at it and you go, what the fuck is that? And then you look at it again and you can kind of figure it out. So it's abstract, but there is something there. I love all the things going on in all the corners of all the images that we have, especially this one here of like the whole lounge room and Beau in the reflection. There are these things happening in the corners that you couldn't have planned for, and that's because like the rangefinder, you don't exactly know where the frame lines are going to be. But when it happens, it's like this crazy accident that just adds to the feeling of tension and adds energy to the photos. iPhone-wise, the best photo is this photo of my brother's door. Okay, so iPhone versus Mamiya 7, which is better? I'm kind of... I mean, there are advantages to both and disadvantages to both, but I think I'm leaning mostly towards, for my type of photography, probably the Mamiya 7. In an ideal world, that is. Like, obviously, film is really expensive, so you can't really just shoot a Mamiya 7 as much as you can an iPhone where every shot is free. But visually, it's obvious that the photos that the Mamiya 7 makes are much more look-atable. You can spend a lot more time looking at them and just dealing with the way that the lens renders objects. It's much more pleasing than an iPhone. Like, obviously, the contents of a photo is what makes a photo interesting, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't enjoy looking at Mamiya 7 photos more, at least at first. The great thing about an iPhone is that it's literally always on you and always ready to take a photo. It takes like half a second to get the camera up. And because of that, I'm always taking photos on my phone. And that's where the big advantage for iPhones is that I can make photos literally all day. And what I always think is that in 10, 20 years, I'll have this like body of work about my life that's just ridiculous in its scope and much bigger and more in depth than any photographer could have possibly done in the past. Like, film is expensive and it always has been expensive. So I feel really lucky to be able to make photos in a time where I have these options. You know, I can make photos on my phone for personal work, and I can learn how to use film cameras and use great film cameras when I really want to be intentional about the look of the photos that I'm trying to make. Okay, well, thank you for watching that one. I'll leave you with this photo of me in my mum's studio. One of the favorite photos I've ever made in this house. And maybe one of my best photos ever. I don't know. I really like these photos of me, my feet. I keep making them slowly, but they're definitely sick. Okay, I'll be back soon with another video, but for now, please, yeah. I love this house, I love my family, and I love making photos.